Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Cynthia Acorace, and I have Peter Schenk here with me today. I am super excited to have him. I've been watching him for the last 3 years, tracking him and paying attention to what he has to offer, because he is actually one of the few that hits the masses by what he's doing to create higher levels of consciousness and bringing in more love and light onto the planet through water and through products that he designs that are phenomenal. But I'm going to have him share some of the stuff he creates. But first off, I just want to thank Peter for actually coming with me today to talk about consciousness and talk about, how we are spiritual beings in a physical body, and we don't want to limit ourselves into this being small. And that's what I like about Peter. He's expansive, truly like he goes out of the box. So please welcome Peter, and thank you, Peter, so much for being with me today.
Cynthia, thanks for having me. So typically when I interview right out of the gate, I love to do a water blessing. So I'd like everyone to just get a glass of ordinary water or whatever you like to partake in. So just quickly, for those that are not familiar with my work, energy that is in physical form or non-physical form will do absolutely anything for you as long as you acknowledge its existence. And we're about to do that with water. Left hand up, about 3 inches over your glass of water, spread your fingers. In a second, you'll start to feel the energy flow right down through your hand into the water. That can come in many forms. It can be straight up energy, a lightning bolt, little tingling, sometimes heating. Once it starts, I want you to put your attention on your glass of water and repeat these 8 magical little words. I honor the space in which you exist. Right after that, energy flow will increase through your hand into the water. Bottoms up. Notice the taste and the texture. This is just a goodwill blessing of love and vibration. And notice, more importantly, where the energy is moving in your body energetically. Yeah, that's good.
That's good, yeah.
All right, what are we talking about today?
My favorite, just recently, I heard you on Darius's, Darius interviewed you for your new pyramids, and you did a workshop, and I've been working with your I Am pyramids because it was something that drew me right in. I was like, what is going on with these? So I wanted to talk first about that product. And I mean, there's many products we can talk about, but that one right now is your latest and greatest. And it definitely, when I did I Am Peaceful, that's the one that really I needed for what I do with doing lives and doing what I do during the day. Because I'm sensitive to energy. So what's around me, I sometimes get caught in. And with the I Am Peaceful, I notice I can hold my center stronger through the day, which is a great blessing. And that's why I reached out, because I'm excited. I'm excited.
So typically, when I create a product, they're never my ideas. They're always given to me from source. And the whole I Am concept has been around since time immemorial. It's been around a long time. And when you invoke the words I am, you put the universe on notice that you are the creator of your reality just by speaking I am. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the I am in energy is really structured like a pyramid. And when you invoke I am love, for instance, you put the universe on notice, and then you set the precedence with love. But there is always an underlying kernel in all of this. And that underlying kernel is, what is love? So I had a very dear friend of mine spend 6 months writing out 13 mantras. I am love, I am presence, I am source, and so forth. And how you structure your words is so important in that last bit of these pyramids. So for 6 months, we're putting together, we're changing it up, and we originally only had 12. So then, the whole thing is about the I am presence, but the I am presence never made it into the original 12. And then in the beauty and magic of how the universe works, the 13th was delivered to me right on time. And it's like the I am presence. And I'm like, duh. It's always right here. And it's only given to you, that bit of information is only given to you once you have, attain that level of respect. Okay. Because let's face it, in this field, there's a lot of talkers. Okay. They're all, for the most part, really good people. But they don't do anything. They regurgitate everything that's been around in the ancient texts. And what is everybody else doing? Okay, let's give it a different spin. There are very, very, very few path blazers. Okay. I choose to push forward and pioneer using state-of-the-art technology, state-of-the-art metallurgy and fabrication processes to bring products and services to the world that they've never seen before. And so once the 12, the 13 I am mantras were done, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm going to do an I am bracelet. And I'm not going to get into that, but they are on the way in the new year. And I was thinking, okay, well, how can I give it a spin? And then that piece of information was delivered. It's the pyramid. So I have effectively taken the power of the I am in 3 levels and fused it with the power of the pyramids. So these are 2 examples of the whole lineup. Okay, this is a copper I am presence pyramid, and they're very heavy. Okay, and what you'll notice is you always have the I am at the top. You have a sacred symbol, which is the true name, and I'll get to that in a second, and then what it is below. Okay, and it's the same on all 4 sides, and you'll notice the detail in these pyramids, and it's not by chance. The conduits on the bottom draw the energy into the cone. They come straight up through the top. There's a cylinder that goes right down through. The energy comes over the top and comes down the sides and fills everything up once they're activated. Now, typically, these are the boxes that the I am pyramids come in. They have all 13 of the symbols on there.
Oh, nice.
Okay. This is the copper one. This is the bronze.
Nice.
Okay. The boxes themselves are magical. A lot of people are reporting that they put things in the box and they supercharge them.
Nice.
This is I am source in bronze.
Oh, cool.
Okay, there's a huge amount of detail in the pyramids. Now, obviously, the website shows them stunningly viewable in pictures and 360 rotaries and other methods. Now, each energetic form, whether it's in physical form or non-physical form, in existence, past, present, and future, has what we call a true name. Okay, and well, what's a true name? When you know the true name of something, you can invoke its power. Okay, you can absolutely invoke its power, and that is part of my tool chest. I can unequivocally get the true name of anything I need, pretty much at the speed of thought. And sometimes they come in the form of symbols. Sometimes they come in the form of a spoken language, a sound, a tone, an octave, a frequency, and it's delivered. Fortunately, the 13 I ams that were delivered to me were delivered in a symbol form. So I drew those out by hand on a napkin, and I sent it over to my graphics guy, and I said, I need these, and boom, lo and behold, the power of the pyramids. So these guys have been on the market since September 1st, and they have been doing phenomenally well. Now, on the moderndaymystic.com site, we have, all the products are on special, but the I am pyramids, if you spend $197 in the store, you get an I am pyramid absolutely free. If you purchase 2 I am pyramids, you get a 3rd free, and so forth. So these guys have been doing, a lot of magic for people. We've got a lot of video testimonials. We've got a lot of written testimonials to the effect of what they're doing. And, this is conscious creation, thinking outside the box. Okay, this is your conscious reality. Everything you know exists within the confines of this box. It's your comfort zone. Just outside that box is where the magic happens, and that's where I choose to play 24/7.
Yeah, he plays big in that center.
Well, in the pre-show, we kind of had this conversation, and a lot of people don't understand, and that's fine, what it takes to actually launch a product, from the conception to maybe doing it in a CAD program, to materials, to manufacturing, to bringing a prototype into fruition, and then figuring out, okay, is this a doable item? Then having it photographed, having words have huge power in bringing it into fruition. Okay, I've done 21 product launches in the last 19 months. Okay, I have been, and of course, that's on the software front, that's on the physical product front, that's in the workshop front. Okay, I have been pushing the envelope with products and services and exploring new directions. So you look at something like the HFA Mini. Okay, this was the third physical product I've ever created. Okay, this is made from the purest copper and silver commercially available. And, this represents past knowledge, okay, ancient knowledge, put together with state-of-the-art metallurgy and delivered in a futuristic design. These are thumb activated. I apologize. I don't have any new ones with me. And these guys are designed to attract negativity. Okay, that's what they do. They filter out negative frequencies long before they actually enter in your physical body. Now, you take something that's made from pure copper and pure silver. They're each used in electrical components. They're used in spiritual purposes. They're used this, that. But in essence, the copper attracts negativity. The silver creates and refines the field to filter it out. Now, the crazy thing about these devices are, when people wear them in their homes, they don't tarnish. But as soon as they go out in public, especially people that go in the cities and in group events, they get dark in a matter of hours. That is the effects that the HFA Mini is filtering. Again, this is called path blazing. All right, and this is so important, folks. When I get this question all the time: how do I get started? How do I reach those higher octaves? You are your own worst enemy when it comes to doing this. It's so easy. People say, I want a lot of money so I can do what you do. Well, you don't need a lot of money to do what I do. You need an idea. And it always starts with an act of kindness, okay? Be nice to your neighbor. Let the poor schmuck out in traffic. Smile, compliment, create, anything. Those are what we call, when you spread love and vibration in the world, okay? You put source on notice, you put the universe on notice, and the universe looks at you and says, okay, I'm going to give you some responsibility, and you're given a piece of information. It comes in many, many forms. What you do with that information determines if you move to the next octave, okay? I've spent the last 15 years of my life pushing the envelope with products and services, okay? I didn't walk into this. I was drawn into this, okay? My wake-up experience was violent, okay? I was a scumbag prior to my wake-up experience. As soon as I woke up, it happened at the speed of thought back in August 2004. I was like, whoa, okay? Then my ego just went and totally inflated. And I thought I was the right hand avenging angel of God here to smite all evil in the world. And then my ego deflated. And that's when, the real work began. The real idea started flowing. And when you're given a piece of information, it's so important that you act on it. Okay. Everyone has the ability to reach the higher octaves. It's a choice, folks. And yes, it is work. Okay. But here's the cool thing, man. The work is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's always fun. And it's not really work. There's an old cliche. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And it's so, so true.
Yeah, that's great. Claudia asked about the car plate. So it's the one that goes in the car. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So prior to the physical world, I spent 10 years developing software that modifies the structure of water, and there are a lot of products out there. Back in November of 2015, I wanted to create a physical device. Okay. So again, listen to the story because it's in perfect synchronicity of how the universe works. Okay, I want to create something. I want to revolutionize an industry. I don't think small, I think large. Whether I attain those large levels is irrelevant. A master told me a long time ago, he goes, Peter, you are going to change many people's lives. But what's the difference whether you help one person or 1 million people? I didn't know at the time. Went back a long time later. I said, there is no difference. We're one and the same. So as those positive thoughts that you have affect reality, so comes back to you. So I had this idea to create something. I wanted to revolutionize this industry. I didn't know what the hell I was going to build. And copper popped into my mind and silver. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make something out of copper and silver. Okay, and then I started thinking, well, what sucks, man? What do I absolutely hate doing? I hate driving. When you're 16 in the United States, you have the ability to drive a car, and it's magical, okay? It's amazing. And over time, you know, it just becomes a grind. You're stuck in road rage. You're a part of road rage. You instigate road rage. Someone cuts you up, blah, 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 blah. I had it. I want to make driving experience absolutely magical for people. I want to create something that harmonizes the energy, not only in the person in the vehicle, but the surrounding areas. Okay, there's another bit of information. What do? Now I'm going to create something. It's got to be made out of the purest copper and purest silver. The copper will attract the negativity. The silver will create and stabilize the field. It needs to be drawn in. Well, I need a formula that's found in nature. Fibonacci sequence. Boom, got it. 1, 3, 7 on the top. A spiral that goes right down. It's going to pull in that negativity, and it's going to replace it on the bottom with something harmonic. It's harmonized, right? So early on in my discovery process, I learned that there is an infinite amount of universes, and the only thing that's constant between those universes is the density of matter. If you want to receive, you have to give. If you want to give, you have to receive. It's always a two-way conduit. So I want to give the negativity that people are experiencing to another place, another time. And I want to receive back the exact same thing, but only the flip side, harmonized energy. So what was born was the harmonic field amplifier, a new way to travel. And it is, like all the products, an absolutely beautiful, spectacular piece that you mentally link by holding it in your left hand in your vehicle. People use these on their motorcycles. They use them on their boats. They use them on their bicycles. They use them on public transportation. It takes 3 seconds to link the device, and instantly you notice a shift in energy. It's not over time. Now, what do people experience with these devices? Well, they pull into a crowded shopping mall and they get a parking space right up front. And these aren't sporadic. These are constant. These are on all the video testimonials and the written testimonials. Okay. When you're driving, it's euphoric. It's pleasant. You let people out. Okay. People let you in. People let you out. It is constant. All of that road rage, all of that negative stuff is gone. It's just gone. So, you know, I had 3 prototypes delivered in the summer of 2016, and I did a 800-mile road trip with my son. My son was 13 at the time. So we drove 12 hours through to South Carolina. Now, a 14-year-old, okay, in a car for 12 hours, that's just not going to drive you crazy. It doesn't happen. Not a peep for 12 constant hours.
Nice.
Now, I rented a I rented a big truck to drive down there. And, you know, one of the things is when you harmonize energy, everything comes into balance. So little creaks, and you know, the testimonials are just crazy to what people experience. But my experience with the prototypes was when we were driving down there, I filled the tank up and it said 340 miles to a full tank. When I filled it up before I dropped that rental truck back off, it said 520 miles. So we had a 40% increase in gas mileage. Now, yes, some of that could have been due to the fact that a lot of it was highway driving. But, you know, don't take my word for it. Research the product. Read and watch, more importantly, what other people are experiencing with it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. So let's see. We had a few comments about Claudia saying her kids noticed the video and said that her father needs one. But I know that I just was, by mistake, I actually swerved a little bit, and I think I got the guy next to me upset because he went like that to me, and I didn't mean to. I was like, oh no, I need one of those, because I didn't mean to swerve. I was just driving along and I messed up. It wasn't intentional. So it does happen where you could use, just for harmonizing my driving. I don't know if I'm always present.
But, so the universe gave me the ability to create immense beauty, immensely powerful products. And, that is a huge responsibility. Huge, because when you are creating and delivering and moving forward, you are given bigger ideas, better ideas. I haven't talked about this, but I have a new product in the works that'll be available most likely in the January, first or second week of January. And, I always touted, you don't need crystals, you don't need kumbaya, you don't need to hold hands. This is just raw energy. Well, this is actually going to be the first product I have ever introduced utilizing moldavite and jet. And basically, there is no name for it yet, but it's going to be a charging plate. Okay, it's going to be made of wood. It's going to be very earthbound. I am sourcing the best moldavite that you can get. I'm sourcing the best jet you can get. And the idea is it's going to have the plate is 8 by 8 by 1 inch. It's big, it's heavy. And on the top is going to be a 5 by 5 1/4 inch quartz crystal glass, the best you can get in the market. And the moldavite will sit in the 4 corners. There's 4 pieces, and a beautiful piece of jet sits in an inverted pyramid below the crystal plate. And it has energy channels that draw up earth energy through the moldavite, then passes it through the channels underneath the quartz crystal and activates the jet. The jet then pushes the energy up into the quartz crystal, which then starts vibrating in ultra high level. And whatever you put on the plate in 33 seconds is the highest vibration in existence, flat. And that's what's coming. And they're just beautiful beyond your wildest imagination. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Sounds good. So would you put that under your bed to sleep at a high vibration?
No, it's really used for, you want to put a glass of water on it. If you have other products that you want to clear negativity from, if you want to just bring everything or anything that you can put on it without crushing it to an ultra high level, it's a charging plate. And when you utilize the power of moldavite and jet, and then allow those, and again, you have to understand, I have the gift of sight. I understand how energetic properties work behind the scenes. And when you do that, you can create immensely powerful products like I do. And, when that crystal plate starts oscillating, once it's activated and gets more excited when you put something on it, it's just going to be over the top. Absolutely over the top.
Well, I believe all your products are over the top. If people want to know more about where to find your products, I know you mentioned at the beginning, Modern Day Mystic. Is that the actual website name too? Is that your?
ModernDayMystic.com is the epicenter of everything I do. All the products are on there. All the information is on there. We are running holiday specials through the end of the month. Just unbelievable deals. If you're interested, do your due diligence. I have a long track record of delivering unbelievable products.
Yes, you do. I found Peter with the software for the water. I was already doing what I call the light transmission with water. And when I found Peter, I was like, wow, I'm so excited. Somebody's actually doing something with water. And I ended up with the 12th Project and Aqua, which are two of your softwares that you haven't talked about. Do you want to talk a little bit about your software that you create? Peter is a he took his mystic mind and his sight that he has and his spiritual skills and put it into technology, into the software. It's super amazing what he's done. So share a little bit about that.
So in the July 4th, 2007, I released a software product called Aqua. And the basic premises about version 1 was where you put your attention, you set the intention. And it didn't matter if the water was next to the computer, a case of water downstairs, a body of water anywhere in existence, or a cup of coffee on Mars, because the principles that govern everything in existence are born in the quantum realm. And the understanding of that is pretty simple. If you can imagine that everything is made up of energy, and energy is all interconnected, then you would know that interconnectedness is what science coins the quantum realm. There is no past, there is no future, there's only the now. And wherever you project your consciousness on that quantum field, you can set your attention. So I was able to do it with computer software. And today we have 5 products available. Aqua version 5, which has over 1,000 selectable intents. It allows you to create quantum layering within water. You can set 9 intentions into a glass of water. You can write your own intentions based on some amazing formulas. Next up was the source. I wanted to create a product that would take the Achilles heel out of manifesting. So today, people know that if you want to manifest something, you have to think about it, you release it, the universe comes by and picks it up. The time by which you release it and the universe picks it up is what we call the path. And any time during the path, if you have doubt or worry, the thought form is destroyed, you have to start over. That's the Achilles heel. Easy to understand in principle, extremely hard to do in practical application. Well, the source takes all the work out of it. The source 5 changes your reality around you to bring into fruition that which you desire. After that, I created the 12th project, which is version 5 today, which is all about virtual chakras. Okay, 12 virtual chakras outside the body. And then, of course, we added the physical 7. And version 5 is taking it to the nth degree. It allows you to clean your chakras out, keep them fine-tuned. Then we had light body. Light body is all about body tuning, fat loss, body, getting yourself in shape and energized. And then, of course, there's a freebie called Navitus. Navitus 5 obviously uses the Aqua 5 engine and has one intention, and that is high energy. You download it, you put your attention on your glass of water, you hit the nucleate button, and it's done. Software is all 33% off until the end of the year.
Cool. Yeah. That's the software was when I heard I met you on Darius, New Wealth Revolution, and when I saw you the first time, it was 2014, I believe, that fall, and I was caring for my mom, and she had Alzheimer's, and I remember you had an intention there for memory loss, and I was using your software with her. And she also had she was unstable on her feet. She didn't have good balance. So I was doing it for balance too. I would find any which way to help her get better balance. And so she actually did a lot better as time went on. At first, it took me a while to figure out how to, help her. She kept falling. And so the first 9 months of care for her, she fell, I think it was like 9 times. And then after that, she fell once for and then the remaining about, I don't know, 9, 10 months before she passed away. So it definitely helped her. I mean, I don't think that, I think that she probably would have progressed faster with her memory loss if I hadn't used some of the techniques or the software that you had, intentions that you had on your site. So I appreciate that.
Sure, absolutely. You know, look, I'll be honest, I don't know where any of this is going. I have no idea. I worked on Wall Street for 20 years, halfway through my tenure at one of the world's largest investment banks. I was in technology my whole career. I had my wake-up experience. That career ended back in 2015, which really set the precedence for me to move forward with everything I am doing this. I don't know where this is going. I have no idea. It could all end tomorrow. It could all end in 30 years, whatever. I don't care. I have and will continue long after I'm gone to change the vibration of the planet. And, you know, it has been, it is, and it always will be about having fun. At the end of the day, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And folks, I absolutely love what I do.
Right, and it shows. And that's what I love about it is your work is affecting the masses. It's helping the whole planet raise vibration, especially the water, because you can set the intent and in the, you know, to the ponds, the streams, the rivers, the ocean, the lakes. So I mean, we're shifting in a big way using the software and using your you know, all the products that you're developing to help people raise their own consciousness and to bring people up to their truer self, their true nature. So I love it. I love what you do.
You know, everything I create is really a crutch or a band-aid to helping people understand their true nature. Okay. The single biggest learning experience I had was to understand that my ego was in the way of everything. And when you understand that the ego has no eyes and no ears, it's a part of you in a space that has no walls and no doors and only knows what you feed it. If you can then use it to your advantage. So let's say, you know, you're 20 pounds overweight and you want to go out and run a mile. Your ego is going to say, you fat bastard, you can't do that, right? But you tell your ego and you agree with it. You say, you're right, I can't do that. It goes back to sleep. You go out and run your mile. You understand? So the one thing I learned in all of this was that first was to tame the ego, but the second was to truly understand that I have no gifts. I have zero power. I am just a conduit by which the great work is done. And it took me years to get over myself, basically, to fully understand that. And that's when the real work began, the deep learning, the ancient knowledge, you know, product design, ideas that come out of nowhere. And they are always, always, always perfectly synchronized in time, always. That was my biggest learning curve for sure.
I have a question from Brad. He wants to know, what was your wake up? I know you shared with it where Saint Germain was part of your wake up, right? Can you share?
Big. Yeah, it still is a very big part of what I do today. So, in a nutshell, if you could see the whole world in black and white through your physical eyes, at the speed of thought, you see everything in 1080p high def color. That's how radical my shift was. The second before my wake up experience, I was a scumbag. Okay. I had the big house, the big cars, the big bills. I didn't care about my neighbors. It was all about keeping up with the Joneses. I knew zero about discernment, humility, love. It was all a joke. Crystals, energy, and, you know, kumbaya and holding hands, blah, whatever. Then that moment of clarity happened. Everything changed. I learned to be humble. I learned what humility was. I learned what true love was. I learned what unconditional love of self was. And my learning was deep, man. It was very, very deep. That was my wake-up experience.
Yeah, I had a similar experience where I felt just the presence of love so strong in my heart. And the message was, life is short. It's so don't live it mundane. You know, get out there and share the love. And
Exactly.
that's what like when I saw you doing it, I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I gotta do that. I gotta catch up to Peter.
Breaking the paradigms of your current trajectory is so easy. Remember, this is your reality. It's a box. Your reality is a box. It's the confines by which you are comfortable. Okay? If you want to be any form of player in the coming changes, and they're happening and have been happening and will continue to happen, you have to think large. Okay? And you need that capacity to step outside your comfort zone. And as soon as you step outside your comfort zone, you have the full support of the entire universe behind you. But more importantly, the first step is not actually taking the first step. It's making a conscious choice to take the first step and then move forward. Okay? Everything I do is so far outside the box. And there's never a question, one iota of anything, that anything I create or deliver is not going to work as advertised. Why? Because that's what I'm here to do. And I understand that now.
Right. Yes. And that's why I reached out to you and I wanted to share what you do, because I just know that you come from value. You give so much value. You actually do a lot of what he calls the MDM Minutes on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel where he does a little segment of information to help raise consciousness and to teach you.
Look, there's two things in life, right? I am typically the last train stop before people go off a cliff. Years and years ago, I used to advertise banner ads, this, that, and the other thing. Now, I allow people to, at their own pace, fall into my world and see what is offered. And part of that is giving back to the community as large in ways that I can. And I do that freely through Navitus, which is a free piece of software. You can download it, distribute it. I do that in free workshops, which I freely just give away. You can download them. Today we have 4, and there's more in the new year coming.
Yeah. The last one was awesome, by the way. That's the one
and earlier this year, last year I started what we call the MDM Minute, which is tips and tricks about things that I know about, and I have accumulated so much knowledge, and I don't like to write, so I'm never going to write a book. And one great way for me to get that knowledge out freely is to do the MDM Minutes. Now, a segment within the MDM Minutes is what we call body geometry, and I've done to date probably 50 or 60 of them. They're typically between 2 or 3 minutes long. Sometimes they're a little bit longer. And I use sacred hand movements to bring about change, okay, on a whole wide. And I encourage people to send me, Peter Schenk at Modern Day Mystic, to send me ideas. And, if I like them, I'll schedule them in and I'll do them. And it's just a way of giving back.
Yes. Yeah. One of my latest is working with allow. When I started to choose to allow, and then I am peaceful or I am present, when I choose to allow before anything, it opened me up and allowed it to flow even stronger. I love it.
Okay, so here's the thing. Remember, you have to set the precedence. Just by saying, the words that you said, they're too general. They're too, allow myself to be loved, and then write a mantra below that. And it will take what you want to the nth degree. There's always 3 parts. I am, You set the precedence, you deliver the mantra. In anything, that pyramid is where it's at. And the more creative and defined you are in whatever goals in life, and this goes across the whole gamut, the more real and the faster it's going to be delivered in your reality. You create your reality as you move through it. Your word choice, okay, and your thoughts are so important. So important. I always tell people, go to bed with a positive thought. It could be anything. Wake up, have a positive thought. You have just created and set the precedence for your reality.
Well, yeah, it's totally true. That was in the download too when I got, like, your words are important, and it's so important to get this message out. Like, you just, embrace the love. And I was like Peter, I had an irritable bowel disease, which causes a lot of irritability and a lot of frustration and a lot of just uncomfortableness in the body. So I had, I wasn't always in the love, but I worked through using this, different techniques like what Peter's teaching, and ways to learn how to stay in the love, because I know how important the message is and how important it is to stay in that frequency. So when that's why when I saw what Peter was doing and I could see the love of his work, it was like, that's where I'm headed. That's where I'm headed. And I was still struggling at the time I met Peter. But since I've been working with his stuff and working with all the different things that I absolutely love with consciousness work, I just grew into a new person. So people that saw me years ago look at me and like, you're different. I don't know why, but I'm different. So, and I watched you grow the last few years, and it's great. I love it. I love watching the new products and all your different, you're really good with the technology. It shows in all that you do. So I appreciate you. And I think that I'm getting a lot of, wow, this is awesome. Cool. So I'm getting good feedback from people that are on now. And I know that we'll be recycling this and putting it up on YouTube and different places so that more people can find what you do. So anything else you want to share while we're still on with, I don't have any more questions. So do you have anything else?
If you so choose to purchase a product or a service, you go to the website, click on the holiday sales page, and obviously there's a lot of amazing deals there. But even beyond that, you all have choices to make in life, and you've been there, you've done that. You've been there, you've done that, and it's the same repeatable cycle, okay? I mentioned the term path blazer quite a few times. I have learned to shatter the paradigm of the catch-22 through a variety of products and services. And, think for a second outside of your comfort zone of the possibilities, even beyond what I do, and refine that possibility again and again and again. And just remember, the hardest part in life is not the first step. It's making the conscious decision to step outside your comfort zone and push the envelope of what's possible. I do it on all fronts. I do it every day. I do it in my sleep. I do it all the time. And once you have reached the parameters of your comfort zone and you see just beyond that, the world is really a beautiful, magical place.
Yeah, and that's what I'm teaching, is helping people grow into who they truly are, and to let go of these limitations. And so, yeah, that was great. So to find Peter, you want to go to moderndaymystic.com, right?
Yeah.
Moderndaymystic.com, and he's the testimonials are listed. Many testimonials. I'm a true, I don't know what you call me, a student of Peter. He's my mentor. I love what he does, and a lot of you know that I do the water with you, because it's so important to get that frequency in our system. And the software was my initial purchase. And if you're curious, try the free one. And then if you like that, definitely go with the one. I would just suggest Aqua because it has 1,000 of intentions, but they're all good. They're all good. So, and I'm anxious to see what else Peter creates. And he's always thinking of something new. So I'm super, super happy to have him here today. I'm in a big, I guess I would say I'm in a big transition, but the opportunity came because I had to reach out to him. I bought a new computer and I had to reach out. It's like, Peter, help, I need my software. And here we are on a live. So I'm so excited to get Peter for this segment of time. Thank you for your time. This is great.
Well, thank you for having me, Cynthia. It's always a pleasure. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. And go to moderndaymistic.com. And if you like what you heard, put some comments in. Oh, they want to know your YouTube channel. Is it under the same name?
Modern Day Mystic.
Yep, YouTube. And he's on Facebook, too. And, yeah, you can find him on probably anywhere on social media. But Facebook is... You do Facebook Live still?
What's that?
Do you do Facebook Live?
I do sometimes, yeah. My schedule is extremely busy as of late. So,
well, when he does Facebook Live, it's usually Tuesday nights. That's when I used to see him. I've been so busy, I haven't seen you in a while. Is that when you're still your favorite time?
We are toying with the idea of bringing back the Modern Day Mystic show in the new year. Yeah.
Yeah, he interviews other people that are raising consciousness around the planet and that are very creative in their way of bringing the love and light to the planet, healers and whatnot. So if you love Peter, he's actually introduces even more than what he does. He's like I said, bringing it at a high scale you can. He doesn't play small. He's a big player. So definitely follow Peter, and I love Peter. I'm so psyched for your time, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you again, hopefully on another Be Live TV, right? Do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.